Welcome to the Texas Consilium Show. I'm Michael Yorba, your host. Thanks for joining with us today. Our guest is Ed Vierling. He is the CEO of Sharon Young. Ed, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Michael. I'm happy to be here.
First, I want to congratulate you on the nomination for the Texas Consilium Business Excellence Award. Thanks for taking the time to be on the show with us. Our objective is just to let you tell your story in your own words. And if you would, give us some insight into yourself and your business.
Okay, well, first of all, it's an honor being on the show and be part of this illustrious group that you put together, in both corporations and management. So, but about myself and about the business a little bit, I was fortunate. I grew up in a very very competitive and optimistic household. So I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do when I grew up in the world. I knew I had some kind of a gift for marketing and selling. I always had this tremendous entrepreneurial spirit inside me. And from the time I was 10, I started selling newspapers, and then I started a lawn service business that I had about 15 guys working for me. In college, I started a campus laundry and serviced all the dormitories at the school, and then I sold that when I graduated. I became involved in the industry, in the apparel industry, with a company called Sharon, and I was 26 years old at the time. And after joining them, I knew that's exactly what I wanted to do. I knew that's where I belonged. I love sales, I love marketing and merchandising and pretty much every aspect of the product and the production. After 23 years and doing just about everything at the company as far as job descriptions, I eventually became president and CEO and then partner in the business and owner in the business. And I sold the Jarrell company to the Hager Clothing Company in 1999. I then served as president there for 7 years, which was really enjoyable for me. It was a public company. It was a bigger company than I'd ever been in. And but I knew that I enjoyed the smaller companies better, something about them, kind of a family type business. And that's where I wanted to end my career possibly. So I left Hager and I bought a company called Sharon Young. And Sharon had a great reputation in the marketplace. She had a loyal following, and she had all the criteria that I was looking for with a company to buy. But she was struggling. She had all of her production that was domestic in Dallas, Texas. And I knew that with her design skills and my team's knowledge of the back end of the business, and I had to take all of her goods offshore to make this thing successful, that I knew it could be a big success. We purchased another company about 6 months later. It was a California-based company. And then something unusual really happened in 2008, 2 years later after I left Hager. Got a phone call from them, and they asked me if I'd like to reacquire the business back from them. So I bought that company back from them, and from that day forward, our business just took off. And it was an amazing time period because it was right 1 month prior to the Great Recession that we had in 2008. So it was sometime around August. We made another acquisition in 2016. I bought a women's golf company that had two brands that had been around for almost 25 years in the market. And they also had a very talented designer, which was always a criteria for us buying companies. So we grew Sharon Young from 7 million to 74 million in the 14 years. We won the Inc. 5000 9 out of 10 years during that whole recessionary period, and for being one of the fastest growing privately held companies in the country. So it was quite an honor for us. So as you can see, we stay very, very busy. We don't let a lot of grass grow underneath our feet, and we are always looking for the next opportunity.
What's your vision for your business look into the future? Give us like a 5-year outlook.
Well, for the next 5 years, I would say one of the key strategies that is driving our business today and will into the future, and we're all trying to get used to it, is the term speed to market for our product. It lets our customers and it lets ourselves project closer to the actual delivery dates. For example, two of our best performing lines right now, we moved the timelines out back 4 months. We gained 4 months worth of time for both ourselves from a design standpoint and also for our customers. So this is very exciting and a major success at retail. So that's been a big thing for us, and we're going to put our other products into that same situation. Another major goal that we had for the next 5 years is to grow our e-commerce and direct-to-consumer business. We're currently maybe running 10% of sales. Our goal for the next 5 years is to get it up to at least 25% of sales. It's a very high margin business. It's a very profitable business, and it's a place that we know that we need to be. We're going to continue in the next 5 years to be very aggressive towards acquisitions and also organic growth. We've had a lot of success to get to that 74 million. We had to do both of those. We're always working to build new sourcing relationships around the world, a new level of distribution that we're getting ourselves involved in, and just hired somebody, brought them in from Hong Kong, is sourcing. And we're looking to source in other areas so we can begin to get involved in this big box area. There's a lot of money to be made there. Big box means Costco, Burlington, Ross stores, TJ Maxx, that group of stores. But you can't keep manufacturing in the same countries where we're currently we're primarily in China. We do a little Vietnam, India, and Korea. So we're going to have to move more into Vietnam, more into Bangladesh, more into Cambodia, Indonesia, and Africa. So a lot going on right there, but if we're going to be involved to be competitive in this very difficult market, the big box, that's where we're going to have to go. We will continue in the next 5 years to develop great people, including our management team, so we can have a strong 5-year succession plan. So maybe one of these days I can retire also. We're always trying to build a stronger relationship with the management of all of our key retailers. And as you can imagine today in this market that's going on out there, it's a very difficult market, and management is moving around. We have targeted a lot of stores, and that we meet on every Monday morning, and that we're going to have to grow those businesses. We're also looking for new levels of product diversification that really doesn't compete with the current 12 brands that we have. So that's another thing that we continue as we make our acquisitions or we grow organically. We have to make sure that we are diversified.
Good. That's a great answer. Thank you for, now I have a much better idea of you, the process, and your outlook for your business. But what makes it special?
Well, we're in the fashion business, so here it's all about product. Our expertise is to provide designs that resonate with the consumer. We have the design talent to make each one of our 12 different brands very unique, special. So we have this reputation of very aggressive growth in this company, and we have a very strong family culture. And additionally, due to the Inc. 5000 awards, we've been able to attract some of the best talent in the apparel business, both from the East Coast and the West Coast. Another thing that we do is very special is that we give an ownership position to each one of our VP of design, because that's such a key position in each one of those companies. It's a great incentive for them. We have a proven track record based on 44 years of business to put us in a position to gain the respect of all of our retailers that we're working with. They continue to be the ones that are obviously supporting all the new ventures that have been put into place. Diversification is another of different channels of distribution. That gives us a more strategic foundation. You don't have all your eggs in one basket. If somebody asked me what the secret of the success is at Sharon Young, I would have to say the diversification of channels of distribution. Most of the retailers out there, most of the manufacturers out there today, they usually do one channel of distribution. So they might handle major stores or specialty stores. But we at Sharon Young and all the businesses that I've been involved in, we've always done, 5 or 6 different levels of distribution. So we do major stores, specialty stores, private label brands, online e-commerce, and now recently we're doing performance activewear. I told you we bought that golf business 4 years ago, and it's been a really key growth, especially right now during these difficult times. So, and then I think also that's special about our company, we have all these, we're probably the best in the marketplace, or almost the best, at these special niche businesses. They're difficult to manage, but that's something that we do very, very well. And then we have that on one side, and then we have a replenishment pant business on the other side, which is 25% of our total volume. So we got a lot of moving parts in the business, a little complicated, but it's always exciting.
Texas Consilium Award is based on business excellence, and the criteria encompass areas like customer satisfaction, operational excellence, employee satisfaction, and business performance. Describe, if you will, how your company exemplifies excellence.
Well, excellence is a difficult word, something that we try to achieve every single day, but probably never have. We have a mission statement in our company, for the same one for the last 40 years, actually, that we make a quality product that we retail for our customers and make a profit for all. So it's a kind of short little sentence, but very difficult to achieve, but it has served us well over the 40 years. Another things that we do here is that we have a list of corporate priorities that we put together, the whole management team, and then we have a quarterly meeting with all of our associates, and we communicate the results of those priorities. So we want every associate to feel a sense of ownership in our corporation. So we have the mission statement and the priority list in our lobby and all the offices throughout the company. So when we have a guest come in, they know exactly who we are and what we're all about. As a leader in the fashion industry, we're all about innovation and product. So this always starts with the large design team that we have. This is where we have our largest financial commitment for our research and development. We make, actually, if you can imagine this, over 2,500 different styles a year. So we're like a river of creativity in this place. Excellence, we feel at Sharon Young, is really about having the right people. And not only having the right people, but putting the right teams of people together. We're very team-oriented in our company. We have recognition awards that we give out every year. And for the Associate of the Year and Team of the Year, Associate of the Quarter, and Team of the Quarter. At the end of every year, it culminates into a big celebration party, and it's the biggest event that we have here at Sharon Young. So, excellent. Let me see what else. We are constantly developing. I wanted to talk just a little bit about developing new factories, because it's really an important thing. Well, let me go back for a second here, if I could.
Sure.
I wanted to talk about sourcing, because sourcing is part of excellence. But when you talk about production, you're talking about so many different facets of the business. And it's such an important part of our business because we're making these difficult garments. But excellence is about sourcing. It's about the best quality. It's about the best service and value and fit, and go on and on. And those things are all equally important. We are constantly developing new factories, new fabric mills across the world. This is really the biggest opportunity that we have to gain gross margin dollars. You probably never noticed it, but the price of apparel in the United States has not gone up. It's gone down over the last 25 years. I think it's the only thing that has gone down. And because of that, we have to go to different countries to source our goods. We have to be tough negotiators. And that's where we gain our gross margin dollars in order to show a profit in this business. Excellence is also achieving in this business a strict T&A calendar. If you don't have a time and action calendar in this business, you're out of business. So it's something that we rigidly enforce, and through best practices and processes, we've refined it over all the years that we've been in business. I would like to say something about our quality control. I'm just bragging a little bit, but because it's another important part of the business as far as excellence goes. There's a thing called OQL, Observed Quality Level, and the industry average is 2.5, and our goal has always been 2.0 in this country, but both of those numbers are world-class numbers. Excellence is also in the industry about strict inventory controls. You have to have accurate, tight projections. Inventory in our business is just an absolute killer. The average life expectancy of an apparel company is 6 years in the business. Probably 90% of those businesses are going out of business because of excess inventory. We turn our inventory a lot here, 5 or 6 times a year. So lastly, I would say to maintain a strong balance sheet and financial statement. So in case of difficult times like we're experiencing right now, that you can withstand the downturn that's happening.
Those are great answers. Now, if you're going to be speaking to an audience of Texas business leaders and they're wanting to improve their own businesses through leadership improvement, can you tell us what lessons you've learned along your journey that you'd most like to share?
I could write a book, Michael, in this business. There's so many things that you learn every day. You're constantly learning something. But I would say if I was talking to a group of people, I would tell them, to pick a career that you're excited about, you're passionate about, that you love, that when you wake up in the morning, you just can't wait to get to work. Another thing we try to do here is to keep our associates happy. Many years ago, I read a book, Pursuit of Excellence, and there was I think it was an article in there, or there was a chapter in there about management by walking around, and it really captured my eye. I said, "Wow, that's exactly what I do." Is management by walking around. I didn't even know that it had a name to it, and but you need to get out of your office. You need to be out there with the people. You need to know their names. You need to know something about their families, so they can really tell that you honestly, care about them. And you need to create a very strong, healthy, fun family culture. We've had almost no turnover in our business because of that situation. Somebody asked me, what do you do? What's your biggest part of your job? I said, make sure that the company makes a profit every quarter and at the end of the year, but maybe more importantly, that the culture is kept the same. It took us a lot of years to develop this culture, and I don't want it to change. Give all your associates the proper training and technical skills so they can be successful and so they can make a difference in their job description. Another thing that we have done here is, almost all companies have a 401k, and we do that also. But about 5 or 6 years ago, we developed a profit sharing plan, for our employees. And, it just really made a difference. I mean, they really felt a sense of ownership because of this profit sharing plan. So if you can afford it and you can make that addition to your benefits, it'll pay off, believe me. And then you asked about maintaining excellence. Well, I would say in regards to that, you have to, as a manager, owner, whatever, you need to get all your associates to embrace change, especially in today's environment, because things are changing, so fast. If you're doing the same thing that you did 5 years ago, you're probably doing it very, very inefficiently. You need to hire, very flexible people. You need to hire people that want to be part of a team. And I always said, try to hire somebody smarter than yourself. I've had no trouble doing that, by the way. So that's about it for that.
Now, social responsibility has become a very big topic these days. I wanted to know if Sharon Young, the culture of social responsibility, or with Ed Vierling, the culture of social responsibility. What are you doing on that front?
Well, first of all, we think, and I believe also, that one of the best ways you can give back to the community is through supporting employment growth. We started with 17 employees here in 2006, and now we have 150, and we have 3 different sales forces, 45 salespeople across the country. But from a charitable perspective, throughout the entire year, we have a lot of fundraising going on here nonstop. So we've always supported the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation, and we put together a big team every year, and that's always a lot of fun. This is the first year because of the COVID that we couldn't participate. Excuse me. We contribute to an organization called Dress for Success, the Dallas chapter, and those girls love wearing the Sharon merchandise. We support an organization called Brother Bill's Helping Hands. It's down in West Dallas, and the ministry is devoted to take care of people those are in tremendous need. We work here locally, right here in Garland, Texas, with the Good Samaritan of Garland and the North Texas Food Bank. Every week there's a lot of canned goods moving in and out of the organization. Each year, all the departments at Sharon Young create Adopt a Family for Christmas, and we put together the gifts. We have a Santa Claus outfit. We deliver all the gifts to the families, and that's a lot of fun, and everybody really enjoys it. We also have a scholarship fund. We sponsor a scholarship fund for the Dallas Fashion Group, and those people, they actually cultivate designers that in the North Texas area, and it's been really good for us. We've hired a lot of interns. We've actually hired some of the people full time, so it's been a great organization to work with in a big fashion show every year. So I would say there's, no matter how successful you are, no matter how much money you made, none of it makes any difference. The best thing that makes us feel good here is giving back to the community.
Well put. Have you given any thought to your legacy?
Well, I am getting older, so I need to give more thought to that. But at the same time, I don't want to keep it too complicated. I know it's not really, I want the business to continue. That's why we have that succession plan. A lot of these privately held companies are family-owned businesses, and they just eventually go away. So I have all the people in place to take over when I decide to retire. But it's really about my family, and it's about my church and God. We've always said that if you take care of your family, you take care of your God, your business will take care of itself. So I just want to make sure that I keep my character in place and I die just that I gave back to the community.
Good. Well put. Ed, thanks. That concludes our portion of the interview that's going to be publicly aired. I want to thank you. And again, congratulations on your nomination. I've got a couple more questions, so stick around after the interview for the Texas Consilium.
Thanks a lot, Michael. And I enjoyed it. And I hope to see you in October, maybe not on Zoom. I hope to see you in person at the big event. So appreciate the time and effort.
Me too. I'm sure you will.